Shalom, Israel. First off, I want to give all praises and glory to the great I am. So wanted to talk about something here. You know, the Most High is going to force our people out of their comfort zones. So let's go ahead and go to Revelation chapter 3. So I want to read something to you that really applies to our current day people. So Revelation chapter 3, and let's start with verse 14. And it goes on to say, "And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, these things saith, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of Elohim." Verse 15, "I know thy works, thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot." Verse 16, "So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth." And you know, every time I read that, and I know that it applies to current day Israel, because our people have a serious problem. And now, what I mean by being lukewarm and all that, our people are so happy and content with being like their enemies, blending with their enemies. You know, our people just go with the flow. We don't question anything. We don't challenge anything. We don't test the spirits. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies say, take a blue pill. We take the blue pill. Our enemies say, take the shot. We take the shot. Our enemy says, do this, do that. And we just follow along with it without question. We're comfortable with it. And because of this comfort level that our people have in them, that spirit of just wanting to be like their enemies, I see how the Most High is pushing our people out of their comfort zones. Now, you may say, well, what do you mean by pushing our people out of their comfort zones? Well, I'll tell you, a lot of our people are content the way things are going as far as working for their slave masters. They are content in believing everything that the news media tells them to. They are content in trusting their enemies. So in order for the Most High to wake our people up, He's going to have to take us through some very extreme and exotic situations. All right, and I see a lot of that happening now. Let me give you an example. Like a lot of our people, you know how they trust their enemies so much that they don't care what we've been through as a people. They don't care what happened in slavery. It's like they always trust their people until something happens directly to them where they see the diabolical, when they see the true nature of their enemies. Because all this time, oh, these folks they're okay. They're not bad. Well, given the right situation with our enemies, you will see how diabolical they will turn. You will literally see the serpent seed come out in them. So it's like the Most High has to expose us sometimes. He has to allow us to hit certain situations so that we can get that light bulb moment and realize, okay, now I get it. I realize that we are truly hated by all nations. Another example is how a lot of our people over there, some of our people in the Ukraine who were trying to get out, and all this time they were thinking, oh, these folks love us, they care about us, they're nice enough to let us in this country. But they found out real quick when their true colors came out. So that's what I'm talking about, y'all. You know, and the word constantly says, do not trust your enemies. In other words, do not throw your pearls to swine. Do not give that which is holy unto dogs. We are commanded that over and over and over. But for some reason, a lot of our people don't get it. So we're going to see a string of things happening, taking place, you know, and we ought to be praising the Most High because some of you are not going to like it, the way these things are going to happen, but they're going to be for our good. They're going to help us as a people. Because, I mean, let's admit it, even I was there at one time. You know, we have gotten so dependent upon our enemies, always wanting them to do things for us and this and that. How come they're not doing this? How come they're not doing that? Well, they're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to do this. It's going to be up to us. And I truly believe that the Most High has been showing his people this little by little. Now, the word says in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3, and please make sure you all writing these scriptures down because I won't have them on the screen or anything. So this is coming from Proverbs chapter 22, and this is we're gonna read verse 3 again. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. It says, "A prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." Now it says the same thing in Proverbs chapter 27, and I'll read that for you as well. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 12. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." You know, I find that very interesting. So just paraphrasing that, you know, a man will foresee evil and prepare for it. So we look and we see what's happening, y'all. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that everything that I'm saying to you, you already know. So there's nothing that, you know, I will say that you don't already know. Okay, we know the deal, Israel. We know that things are getting ready to get hot for our people. We know things are getting ready to hit the fan. Now, however that's going to look like is going to be foretelling in the future. All right. But for now is that when the Most High gives us this kind of knowledge, and he has sent the prophets of old to give us these writings, we need to take heed. You know what I'm saying? We need to take heed. So let me just give you some examples of what I'm talking about. When it says that a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, it's not talking about he's hiding, you know, because he's afraid, but he prepares. So how do we prepare for something like this? What's happening in this world that, well, we know what's happening, but how do we prepare not only spiritually and mentally, but also physically? Well, it's pretty simple. And I see a lot of our people that are teaming up and buying property. You know, that's one way, whether you buy property here in the U.S. or whether you buy property in Africa. Now, I know some people who are going over to Africa, but that's because they've done their research, they've done their due diligence, and the Most High has opened up some doors for them, and that's all great. And I understand that not everybody has the means to be able to do those kind of things and move to Africa. So, you know, you have to just work with what you have, and that's all we've ever done is work what we have. Growing your own food if you have some property, if you have something to grow on. That's a good thing. You know, so we see all this stuff and we just have to start preparing, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something else. These 9-to-5 jobs, they're slowly going away. And when I say slowly going away, you know, more people are going to e-commerce, and as we're starting to go to a digital currency, y'all, this is, you know, the Most High is sending us these warnings for a reason. You know, you got some brothers who are with their families starting their own little business, because when these 9-to-5 jobs slowly go away, you know, unfortunately, you still got to feed your family. And I get it. We trust in the Most High. But remember, faith without works is dead. So if the Most High gives us a warning, if he sends you a boat and you decide not to get on it, well, I'm going to trust in the Most High. And the Most High has already sent you some means and a way of escape. And then you ignore that because you feel like, oh, I'm just going to have faith. I'm going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs and wait for things to happen. Well, it's not going to happen, brothers and sisters, because the Most High has already given a lot of us the answers. So we just have to rely on that call and move forward. And I know for some of our people, that's scary, because when you're so caught in just being lethargic and you're so used to a system that's feeding you and doing all this for you and doing everything for you, you're not doing it yourself. You know when things are going to change for the better when you start getting out on your own and you start doing things for yourself. Yeah, it's going to be a little rough at times, but through the power and grace of the Most High, all things are possible. And that's the way you got to look at it, because we're going to have to start preparing and helping our next generation of young, coming up Israelites. And let me tell you why. It's because, the Most High sets these things in place for a reason. Because guess what? If our forefathers would have not sold out to the enemy, we still would have had our resources. And that's how the Most High designed things, y'all. Y'all have no idea. Let me give an example for remember when the Most High told Saul, he told Saul specifically, kill, 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 kill these people. Do not spare. But what did he do? He spared because he felt like that was the right thing to do. And we paid for hundreds of years later, we paid for it because those same people came back and made us slaves. And see, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. See, anytime we go outside of the Most High's will, it can take a long time to recover. And we don't want to be in that situation. We want to start preparing like the Most High has showed us in His Word, spiritually, mentally, as well as physically. We got to start preparing and getting ready because things are getting ready to get crazy. It's funny because I went into a Best Buy a couple of weeks ago, and man, that place is getting thin. And when I say getting thin, like the shelves, you used to go into a Best Buy like 10 years ago, you could find everything. 15 years ago, you could find everything. But because Amazon is eating up all the sales, and I'm surprised that Best Buy is still standing. Y'all remember Circuit City, right? Circuit City was kind of like the old Best Buy, and they just completely went out of business because the whole e-commerce thing is just tearing these places up. So this is what I'm talking about, y'all. As these things are happening, we have to make some adjustments, and we have to, whatever talents that we have to use to the glory of the Most High to be able to help our people. Now, I'm not talking about handing out money to people who didn't earn it or anything like that. But I'm talking about knowledge. I'm talking about giving knowledge to our people so that they can help themselves, so they can, start something or get to where you are at, teaching them how to buy land and how to invest and things like that. So, but if we keep repeating the same things that our forefathers repeated, but then guess what? Then only thing that we're going to hand down to our next generation are curses, or more curses. And I know y'all tired of that stuff. I know y'all tired of the talk. I'm tired of the talk. I'm ready for some action, and that's exactly what I have been doing. I can't speak for nobody else, but my thing has been building up the property, preparing for that, and some my businesses, and just getting things ready because we're going to have to provide for ourselves. And as far as depending upon our enemies, that's going away, y'all. That is going away because it's getting worse now, and their true colors are coming out. Their true colors are coming out. It's been coming out, but it's getting even worse. And it's going to get to a point where our people, if our people are not planted in the rock of the Most High, they're gone. There's no hope. The only way that you're going to make it, you're going to have to be planted firmly in the solid rock of the Most High. And that takes heeding the counsels of the word of the Most High. It's like I read to you in Proverbs. A wise man, a prudent man foreseeth evil and prepares for it. We already know what to do as a people. But many of our people are just so lazy. We're stuck in that do it for me mentality. Do it for me all the time mentality. We got to get out of that mentality. And if you already have property, you're already growing your own food and everything, or what have you, that is a blessing in itself. You all have no idea. Or if you already work for yourself, that is great. And see, this is why I love the book of Proverbs, because it's such full of wisdom. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 13. Proverbs chapter 13, and let's look at verse 22. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 22. It says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So when it says a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, that's not only just talking about wealth, money, but it's talking about property. So just imagine what we could have done if our forefathers would have not sold out. So you see how there's a chain reaction. So when we always suffer from our parents or our forefathers' mistakes and their wickedness, and guess who pays for it? We have to pay for it, but it doesn't have to be the same for our children. You know what I'm saying? We have to be the ones that make that change. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 21. Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 5. It says, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty, only to want. You know what that means? So, our people who are planners, planning. Yes, that's right. Something that our people are not good at, planning. And then it goes on to say, but of everyone that is hasty, only to want. I got a perfect example for that one. People who are selling drugs to one another because it's quick money. Quick money that always leads to death, leads to our people's destruction. But it's quick money. And they always constantly wanting, because it's quick money, and it's not the way of the Most High. You have these quick get-rich schemes, these pyramid schemes that our people love to get into. Again, quick money that leads nowhere. The Most High made it that our people are going to have to work. If you want to build that wealth, our people are going to have to work, and it doesn't happen overnight. And you cannot build a nation up overnight. It just don't happen that way. The word is filled with so much wisdom for our people. And it's a shame that our forefathers did not take heed to this. And had they took heed to this, we would not be in the situation that we're in. We have no idea how we set our children up for failure, y'all, when we go totally against the word of the Most High. Let me repeat that again. We have no idea how much we set ourselves up for failure when we go totally against the word of the Most High. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 23. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 23. It says, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. So in other words, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. You have a lot of our people who talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. It says, in all labor there is profit. It's almost like let's say you have a group of Israelites, right? And they're on a journey, and they come to this stream or this little river. And so they come to this little river, and they're trying to figure out how to get across. And then they come to the conclusion, well, maybe it ain't the Most High's will for us to cross over this river. So they give up and turn around and go back, when the Most High has given you the ability to build the bridge to cross over the river. You see what I'm saying? And that's the kind of thinking that our people do not have, because our people are so caught up in Christianity. They have that Christianity mindset where they don't want to do anything. They don't want to acknowledge that we have to work for things. It's just simple as that. You just relying on faith for things to happen, it's not going to happen. The Most High has given us signs. We just have to put in the work. And that's what it's going to take. And like I said, you cannot build a nation of Israelites in one day. It's going to take our people getting out that mindset, that Christianity mindset, and putting their works or putting their words to action, like the Most High has told us to in His Word. There's so much wisdom and counsel in the Word of the Most High. And yes, indeed, we are definitely living in the days of Laodicean, y'all, where our people are so comfortable and so lethargic. And I know our people don't like to hear the word stupid. But I'm going to share something with you, because I want you to see what I'm getting ready to go with this now. Now, we are a stupid people, but before you get upset, let me explain why we are a stupid people. Because when you look at our forefathers, the most stupid thing our forefathers ever did was turn from the commandments, statutes of the Most High and ran after other nation. And that what makes us a stupid people. Now you get where I'm coming from. So it's nothing personal against individual brothers and sisters. I am talking about a people as a whole. Yes, we are a stupid people, and in order for us to get back to the Most High, we're going to have to become unstupid. We're going to have to reverse it, y'all. That's the only way. There's no other way when you look at it. His law, the salvation is in his law, his word, y'all. And it's simple. He just told us to obey. Just do as I have commanded. It's nothing hard. And it's not like we had plenty. We had everything. We had the whole world in our hands. We just had to be committed to the Most High. But what was it about the heathens? What was it about the other nations that our people was so in love with? I guess they thought the grass was greener on the other side. And it's still that way today. Our people constantly think that the grass is greener on the other side until it's too late. Then they realize there is no grass on the other side. It's all evil. But it's too late because our people, they always think that for some reason. And that's like the chain loop that we keep repeating and repeating and repeating. So when I said a little earlier that we are a stupid people, you got to understand the whole concept of stupidity. It was a stupid thing to turn from the Most High. And we're still repeating that stupidity. That stupidity that's causing us to go backwards and backwards and backwards. We got to undo this thing, y'all. And it's not going to happen by power of an individual. We're so far down the rabbit hole. And again, it's going to take the power of the Most High to really reverse this. And this is why we see things happening the way they are. He's going to allow our people to go through this fire, to go through these trials and what have you, until he has a remnant, till he has a people molded into the image that he wants. Now, whenever that's going to be, we don't know. But I do know one thing. Y'all better put your seatbelts on because it's getting ready to get crazy. So with that being said, I pray that you all are edified. I pray that you'll really take heed to these wise counsels that are coming from the scriptures. And I say shalom and stay strong.